Okay, so the PvP game will be Gamora against Quicksilver. And the leader of Gamora is Iron Man. So they're on the same team, Gamora and Iron Man. And the leader of Quicksilver is Captain America. So Quicksilver and Captain America are on the same team. That means Gamora is fighting against Captain America and Quicksilver is fighting against Iron Man. Now we're going to build the Captain America deck. So there are 10 cards in the Captain America deck, including the shield. And we're going to play standard, so 1, 2 instead of 2, 3. By the way, Captain America is on the resistance side, so Quicksilver is helping Captain America, so they're both on the resistance side, and Gamora and Iron Man are on the registration side. So FFG recommends to add 3 or 4 modular decks. There are 16 in a box, 8 for each side. So I've selected now 4 modular decks. So I selected Defenders, Hell's Kitchen, Cloak and Dagger, and Spider-Man. This deck is a special standard PvP deck, and the registration site also has this deck, as you will see. And this deck replaces the standard deck. And also what needs to be added is the obligation. So I will add the application of Gamora, Defenders, all these decks, and I will give them a quick shuffle. And when it comes to this deck, this side scheme actually enters play straight away because it's a permanent, but you will see how that will work. Now we're going to build the deck for Iron Man. So there are 10 cards here as well in the Iron Man deck. We add the obligation, so Quicksilver's obligation, and I selected the following modular decks: Cape Killer, Dangerous Recruits, Maria Hill, Heroes for Hire, and then we add this PvP standard deck as well. And again, just like with the resistance side, this choosing side scheme starts in play. One of the things that we love about this box is that there are 16 different main schemes in total. So 8 different ones for registration and 8 different ones for resistance. So there are 4 2A/2B and 4 1A/1B, and the same applies to the resistance. So now it's all about picking 2 different ones. So you can ask the opponent or you can choose. So let's say I'm going to use this as T2A and then this one as 1A, and then for resistance we choose this as 2A and then this one as 1A. And now we're going to set everything up properly. All right, so here's the setup of the resistance side. So Quicksilver is part of the resistance and is fighting against Iron Man. There's a setup that says the enemy team searches the encounter deck for an Iron Man attachment and your team reveals it. So the Gamora player, who's on a team of Iron Man, selected this card. So it says attached Iron Man, forced interrupt. When Iron Man would take any amount of damage, place it here instead. Then if there are at least 5 damage here, discard this card. And here is the side scheme that starts in play as well. The enemy leader cannot take more than 2 damage from each attack. So you really want to get rid of this side scheme, choosing sides. And when all the threats is removed, something will happen, but you'll see how that works. And here is the first main scheme, Public Outrage. After resolving step 1 of the villain phase, each player discards the top 3 cards of their deck. And it starts with 0 threat because I am the only player. And here's the setup of the registration side. So here's Gamora, part of the registration team, who fights Captain America. And Captain America also has a setup instruction. The enemy team finds Cap's shield and attaches it to the Captain America leader. And for his response, after Cap's shield is attached to Captain America, give him a tough status card, hence the tough status card. The instructions of the Cap shield says attached character gains retaliate 1 and attacks against them lose piercing. After a hero or the Captain America leader uses their attack to attack and damage attached character, attach Cap shield to the attacker. Here's again the side scheme, choosing sides. The enemy leader cannot take more than 2 damage from each attack. And here is the main scheme, gathering support. When revealed, the enemy team searches the encounter deck for a minion and deals 1 to each player on your team as a face down encounter card. So the Quicksilver player went to look for a minion and then place it here as a face down encounter card. So Gamora knows that it's going to be a minion, but it's only the Quicksilver player who knows what minion this is, but it will be revealed during the villain phase. All right, so let's now start the game. Before we start, here are a few things to consider. First of all, it's always the resistance players who will start first. So in this case, it's only Gamora because it's 1 against 1 instead of 2 against 2. So Gamora always goes first. So it's going to be Gamora's turn, and then it's going to be Quicksilver's turn. Then it's Gamora's villain phase that then starts, and then it's Quicksilver's villain phase that starts. Also, if Gamora, the player of Gamora, is successful in beating or defeating Captain America, I, as the Quicksilver player, still get a chance or the opportunity to defeat the Iron Man leader. And if there is a tie, then I think it is, in the rulebook, it says how to determine who the winner is going to be, but I think the player whose main scheme has not advanced will then win. Also, the reason why I chose Quicksilver is because this is a character that needs setup, and Gamora is an event-driven hero. So I just kind of want to show you how a PvP game will look like when you play a character that needs setup against an event-driven character. Another thing that you want to remember is that you cannot mix other modular sets when you play PvP. So if you play co-op and you play like Gamora and Quicksilver against Captain America or against Iron Man, for example, then you are allowed to mix all the modular sets and use the ones from the previous sets. But when you play PvP, then you have to choose the modular sets that come with the Civil War box. Also, as you probably notice, I am not experienced when it comes to filming these types of videos. So that's why I know it's not perfect or far from perfect. Probably maybe hard to follow sometimes, but yes, if you notice that this is not really done professionally with professional cameras or lighting, then yes, I'm the first one to admit it doesn't really look great, but hopefully you're able to follow. Okay, this is round 1, Gamora starts. We assume that you already know the cards, so we're not going to really focus on explaining what the cards do. Gamora and Quicksilver are out for quite some time, so yeah, hopefully you'll be able to follow. Captain America has 14 hit points and Gamora has 10 hit points. Yes. All right, we use the action on Gamora's alter ego card. It's an event, so it can go to the hand. Fusilade is being used to pay for the Keen Instincts. Power of Aggression is used to pay for Martial Prowess. And now Gamora plays for Justice, removing, yes, in hero mode of course, for Justice to remove 4 threat. It's a mental, yeah, so 4 threat in total, which means now that yeah, first the tough goes away because of precision. She played a thwart event, so deal 1 damage, which means Captain America's stuff is gone, and then you get retaliate because of the shield. Yeah, no, that's actually not true. We go back because retaliate is only after an attack, and Gamora's precision is not an attack. Yeah, all right. So now all the threat is gone, and the Quicksilver player, me, I will now take top 5 cards of the encounter deck, and I will choose 1 card to be placed as a face down encounter card. So now the enemy team, which is Quicksilver, he's on a team with Captain America. Now I choose 1 of the 5 cards and I deal 1 now as a face down encounter card, and I will shuffle the rest back into the encounter deck. Now there are 2 encounter cards, so 1 from the choosing side that I just chose, the Quicksilver player. And of course, the first one came from Gathering Support, the main scheme. All right, so now that all the threat has been cleared, we flip the card, and now it says action. Now it's personal. Action. Remove this card from the game. Each player on your team chooses 2 of your leader set-aside player cards and add them to their hand. So there are 4 of these cards, and then each player can pick 2. Since it's only Gamora who's on the registration team, then only she can then choose 2 of the 4 cards. However, it's not necessary to do it straight away because it's an action, so you can wait a turn or 2 before activating it. And Gamora decides not to activate it yet, so this card stays in play. Now to conclude Gamora's turn, she will attack for 2, Captain America. And since she will damage Captain America, she takes the shield. So Captain America's 14 hit points goes to 12. And then because of the Captain America had the shield, she gets retaliate. So 9 health instead of 10, and now Gamora has the shield. And then as a final action, she will play a acrobatic move, and that will result in dealing 2 damage to Captain America. So now Captain America has 10 hit points. So now that Gamora's turn concluded, she readies everything up and draw her 5 cards. So we don't wait first for Quicksilver's turn. When Gamora's turn is over, she immediately resets. In other words, she readies everything, draw her 5 cards. And now it's Quicksilver's turn. Okay, now it's Quicksilver's turn. So I forgot to mention, but Iron Man gets 1 scheme for each tech attachment. So now he has a scheme of 2 because of this attachment. All right, so I'm going to play Armored Vest. And then I put Scarlet Witch into play. I'm gonna flip to hero mode, and I'm first going to thwart with Scarlet Witch. When you use one of the Scarlet Witch basic power, discard the top card of the encounter deck. So I will do that now. I will thwart for 1, plus 1 boost is 2, so I will thwart for 2. Consequential on Scarlet. Thwart for 1 with Quicksilver. Ready Quicksilver, and thwart for 1 again. All right, so now all threat is removed from the side scheme, so the Gamora player is now drawing 5 cards, the top 5 cards of the encounter deck, and then we'll pick one and deal it as a face down encounter card. So now we flip, choosing sides. Now it's personal. And just like Gamora, I will decide as the Quicksilver player not to use the action straight away. But when I do, I can pick 2 of these 4 cards. But again, that's not going to happen now. I will wait what happens, and then I will see which 2 cards I will use by using this action. That concludes Quicksilver's turn, so I'm going to ready up as well and draw my 5 cards. And now we can begin the villain phase. All right, so here we have the first villain phase of Gamora. So we start with threat, placed already on gathering support. And now Captain America is going to attack Gamora. But Gamora decides to defend because she wants to keep the shield, because Captain America will only get the shield if he's able to damage Gamora. So she will defend. Let's see what the boost card says. It says, boost. If the Spider-Man minion is in play, reveal this card. Well, Spider-Man is not in play, so nothing happens. And also, it's not boosted the attack. So Captain America will deal 2 damage, but Gamora defends with 2 damage. So no damage, and Gamora keeps the shield. But the shield has retaliate, so Captain America now at least suffers 1 damage. 9 health. All right, so now we're going to continue with the encounter cards. Now the encounter card is drawn, and there are 3 in total, so it's going to get nasty. All right, first one is Minion Luke Cage. When revealed, stun your leader. And again, Gamora's leader is Iron Man, so Iron Man gets the stunned status card. Second encounter card is, again, a minion, Iron Fist. When revealed, Iron Fist attacks your leader. And again, the leader of Gamora is Iron Man, so 3 damage is dealt, but it goes to the mark of the armor because of the forced interrupt. When Iron Man would take any amount of damage, please place it here instead. Then if there's at least 5, discard. But I'm happy that Iron Fist helped me out. Captain America by dealing 3 damage to Iron Man. And now the last encounter card is Righteous Cause. When revealed, the enemy leader schemes. If there's more than 1 player on your team, give the enemy leader an additional. Okay, there's only 1 player, Gamora. So the enemy leader, which is Captain America. So he's going to scheme, and it says, if there's no more, give the enemy leader an additional. Okay, so only a normal boost card. So he will scheme for 1 plus nothing. Reveal this card. Oh, it's a +1 scheme though, that attachment. So it means he will scheme for 2. And that concludes Gamora's villain phase, and now we go to Quicksilver's villain phase. The villain phase of Quicksilver, we start with one threat here. Now, because of the forced response, we have to, after resolving step 1 of the villain phase, each player discards the top 3 cards of their deck. So I'm the only player, so I discard the top 3 cards of my deck. Unfortunately, I use strength. All right, now Iron Man is going to attack me. I'm in hero form, but he has stunned, so nothing happens. Fantastic, because of Luke Cage, who's my friend, who's on my team. Now, an encounter card, so I have 2. So the first one says unregistered super. So my identity now has the unregistered trait. An alter ego action, I have to discard an identity specific cards from my hand, or one identity specific card from my hand to discard the card. Okay. The second encounter card is a supersonic punch. When revealed, I'm in hero mode, so Iron Man attacks you. Okay, he has attack attachment, Iron Man, so it gains piercing, but doesn't matter. I don't have a tough status card. So he's going to attack for 1. I will defend because I can ready with Quicksilver. 1, and I have 2 defense because of the armored vest. So 1 plus nothing. But it says boost. This card gains a boost icon for each player on your team. Well, I'm the only one, so only 1 plus 1 is 2, but I have a defense of 2, so no damage. And I ready up. And that concludes the villain phase of Quicksilver. All right, so now round 2 begins. Gamora will start first because, as I mentioned before, the registration team always starts the round. So Gamora will now use, now it's personal, so the action says remove this card to pick 2 special cards. And these are the cards that are chosen, so 2 special Iron Man cards. Suit Up says hero response, after you spend this resource, give your Iron Man leader a tough status card. And this card is going to be used to pay for target lock. So we're going to give Iron Man now a tough status card that he has. And now target lock says your Iron Man leader attacks the enemy leader. If you spend a mental resource to pay for this event, choose an attachment on enemy leader, but let's do the attack first. So Iron Man will attack the enemy leader. So Iron Man will attack for 1 plus a boost of 2. So he will deal 3 damage to Captain America. So Captain America now has 6 health. And now we're going to discard an attachment that says hero response or hero interrupt. And it's the captain's helmet that says hero response that is now discarded. Next, Gamora plays Rocket Raccoon, spending 3 resources. Rocket Raccoon says, well, Gamora has the Guardian trait. Interrupt, when Rocket Raccoon attacks a minion, he gets +3 attack for that attack. That attack gains overkill. So Rocket Raccoon is going to attack Iron Fist. So Iron Fist has 4 hit points, which is enough then to defeat. So 1 consequential for Rocket Raccoon. And that concludes Gamora's turn. And now everything will be ready up. And Gamora draws her 5 cards. All right, so we play Reinforced Sinew by paying 2 resources. And I'm going to play Speed Cyclone for 1 resource to stun 1 enemy, which is Iron Man. So he is now stunned. And I'm going to attack for 2 to get rid of Tough. And I'm going to ready up. And I'm going to attack for 2 again. And there's going to be now 5 damage, which is enough to discard the armor. So that's finally gone. And then the last thing we're going to do is we're going to use Scarlet Witch to attack. So I'm going to attack for at least 1. Now I have to discard the top card of the encounter deck. Let's see how many boost icons. 1. So Scarlet Witch will attack for 2. And then 1 consequential on Scarlet Witch, and I will stay in hero form. I will keep now it's personal. I'm not going to activate it yet. I will ready up and draw my 5 cards. And now we start the villain phase. Round 2, villain phase. We start with threat. 1 threat on gathering support. 4 out of 7. Okay, so Gamora is still safe. Now Captain America is going to attack Gamora. Gamora is going to defend. She will defend for 2. Captain America does 2 damage plus nothing, but the leader is confused. So Iron Man is confused now. Perfect. All right. Now Captain America suffers from retaliate because he attacked Gamora, who has the shield. So now 5 health. All right, now the boost card. And also because Gamora didn't suffer any damage, she keeps the shield. Okay, now bad card. Oh yeah, Luke Cage does 2 damage as well. But this time she will have to take it. So now Gamora has 7 health. And yes, so now Captain America and Luke Cage attacked. So now here comes the encounter card, which is Street Defenders. Each minion activates against the player it is engaged with. Otherwise, the enemy leader activates against you. All right, there is a minion, which is Luke Cage. So he's going to activate again, and he will do 2 damage. Gamora is going to take it, so now she has 5 hit points. All right, that concludes the villain phase of Gamora. So, Quicksilver's villain phase. 1 threat. The force response says to discard the top 3 cards, which I unfortunately have to do. And now Iron Man is going to attack, but he is stunned, so nothing happens. And oh, by the way, because of this acceleration token, I should have placed 1 more threat, so 3 threats in total. Okay, now I have no minions, so now I draw a card from the encounter deck, which is an unregistered super again. All right, identity against the unregistered trait. I already have it, but now I have another acceleration token, which is, yeah, kind of nasty. But okay, well, that's it. We go back to the player phase. Round 3. Gamora is going to start with attacking with Rocket Raccoon, Luke Cage for 4 damage in total because Rocket Raccoon deals +3 for minions, so Luke Cage is gone. Consequential on Rocket Raccoon. Now, Gamora pays for crew quarters. Lastly, Gamora pays 2 resources for forward momentum, and the keen instincts will be used. And that means now 3 threats will be removed, or is it 5? No attack events have been played, so only 3. So 3 threats will be removed from gathering support, and because it's an event, a precision can take place. After you play a toward event, deal 1 damage to an enemy, so Captain America now has 4 hit points. And now Gamora goes home, alter ego, and then a crew quarters will be used straight away to heal 1 damage. And now Gamora has 6 hit points. That concludes Gamora's 3rd turn this game, and now everything will be ready up. And she draws her 6 cards. Okay, I start my Quicksilver turn with Scarlet Witch. She's going to toward for at least 1, plus hopefully a lot, +2. Perfect. So 3 threat removed. That's perfect, but I will lose Scarlet Witch. Now I think I'm just going to be attacking. I will stay in hero form despite these acceleration icons. I'm going to attack for 2 because of the reinforced new +1 attack. So attack for 2. Ready up, and I'm going to attack again for 2, so that is 6 in total. And now I'm going to play, by the way, Iron Man has 12 hit points. And I'm going to play the energy barrier with 3 tokens. Or sorry, 3 reflection counters. And I'm going to pay for Machine Man. And I'm going to attack straight away. I'm going to attack for 1. And now I'm going to ready up and draw my 5 cards. And now we can begin the villain phase. The villain phase commences. So 1 threat on gathering support. Now Captain America is going to scheme because Gamora is in alter ego form. So he's going to scheme for 1 plus 1 is 2 threat in total. And now encounter card is going to be, we have the Daredevil minion. When revealed, the enemy team exhausts a character you control. So enemy team means Quicksilver. So Quicksilver decides to exhaust Gamora. All right, and now Daredevil is a minion helping Captain America. All right, that concludes the villain phase of Gamora. Quicksilver's villain phase, 3 threats immediately because of these 2 acceleration icons. And now he's going to attack. I will defend for 2, 1 plus the +1 defense of armored vests. Iron Man attacks for 1 plus 1 is 2. So no damage. I ready myself up again because I'm Quicksilver. That's what he can do. And now the encounter card is Repulsor Blast. When revealed, hero. Discard the top 4 cards of your deck. For each printed energy and wild resource discarded this way, deal 1 damage to your hero. Okay, let's see. 4. 1, mental, good. 2, mental again. 3, yeah, unfortunately an energy. And number 4, strength. So only 1 damage to Quicksilver. But because of the energy barrier, I'm going to use one of these reflection tokens to prevent 1 damage and then deal 1 damage to an enemy, which is going to be Iron Man. All right, so no damage received from Repulsor Blast, and that concludes the villain phase. Round 4, Gamora starts. She will use her action to see if the top card is an event. It's an event, so it goes to the hand. Crew Quarters to heal 1 damage. Now she's 7 health. Gamora goes to hero form. Rocket Raccoon will attack for 4, 3, because it's going to be attacking a minion. 3 plus 1 is 4. With overkill, 3 damage to Daredevil and then 1 to Captain America. Captain America has now 3 health. Hit and Run is now played here with Martial Prowess, Keen Instinct, and 1 more card. And Hit and Run says, deal 2 damage to an enemy, remove 2 threats from a scheme. So Captain America is now, he has only 1 health and 2 threats will be removed from gathering support. Rocket Raccoon is KO, goes to the discard pile. And now because the card is an attack and a thwart, the finesse and precision will activate. So 1 threat removed from the main scheme, and then there goes Captain America. The first Captain America is now defeated. So what happens is Captain America number 2 will appear, and he has Steady. And it says, when revealed, deal each player an encounter card. So Gamora gets a face-down encounter card. And he cannot take damage this phase. So that's pretty interesting. Yeah, so he cannot take damage. All right. So there's no point now to attack because he cannot take damage. So Gamora decides to play Groot. And Gamora has the Guardian trait. And the response says, after Groot defends against an attack, heal 2 damage from him. So Groot has been paid for. and there's no point to attack because we cannot attack Captain America. Do you want to thwart? Yes, we're going to thwart for 1 to remove the last threat. 1 consequential on Groot. And that's Gamora's turn. And now we ready everything up and draw 5 cards. Okay, so I'm going to play Friction Resistance. Quicksilver players will understand how important this card is. And I pay 3 resources for Friction Resistance. Now I'm going to attack for 2. Here we go. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ready up. And I'm going to attack again. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 means 12. So just like Gamora, Quicksilver is able to defeat level 1 leader. He has steady as well, just like Captain America, and deal each player an encounter card. So I now have a face down encounter card. And Iron Man cannot take damage this phase. So that's it. I cannot damage him. So what I will do with Machine Man, I'm going to, well, it's kind of a waste maybe. But yeah, I will thwart for 1. Because I think I'll just stay in hero form. And then 1 consequential. And that's it. I will ready up. Yeah, I still have 9 hit points. So yes, and I get my 5 cards. And that's it. So now we can start the villain phase. Here we are, villain phase. Captain America, by the way, level 2 has 18 hit points. So we start with 1 threat on gathering support. Now Captain America is going to attack for at least 2. But Groot is going to be placed in front of it. He's going to defend with a boost of only 2. So that's 4 damage. So Groot survives. And because he survives, the response says, after Groot's defense against an attack, heal 2 damage from him. So he will heal 2. All right, bad card or encounter card. So there are 2 now. First one, Street Defenders. Each minion activates against the player it is engaged with. There are no minions. It's only Captain America. Otherwise, the enemy leader activates against you. Do not give it a boost card for this activation. So he's going to deal 2 damage. He's going to defend. So Gamora is going to keep the shield. Okay, now the second encounter card. Spectacular. When revealed, place 2 threats on the main scheme. Now there are 3 in total. And that's it. Now it's Quicksilver's turn. Now it's Quicksilver's turn, or I should say Iron Man's turn. By the way, he has 16 hit points now. Iron Man level 2 has 16 hit points. So we start with placing 3 threats because of these 2 acceleration icons. And now he's going to attack for 2. I'm going to defend with Quicksilver. He has a defense of 2. So 2 against 2 plus 2. So he will deal 4 damage. I'll get 2, but of those 2, I will use Energy Barrier to ping 1 and then deal Iron Man 1 damage. And then I get that 4th damage. So now I have 8 hit points. Now I have 2 bad cards, 2 encounter cards. So the first one is, we have an obligation, Need for Speed. I have to go to you may flip to Alter Ego, but I'm already exhausted. Wait, but if I forgot to ready myself, because that's what Quicksilver does. You cannot ready your identity till your next turn. I think I will go home, yeah. You may flip to Alter Ego, and then I exhaust Pietro, and then I'm going to remove this from the game, Need for Speed. Okay, that was the first encounter card. Second, Venom, a minion. Venom's attacks gain piercing. When revealed, Venom attacks your leader. So, 3 damage to Captain America. That is 15. And that's the end of the villain phase. Next round, Gamora starts. So Gamora has 7 hit points and Captain America level 2 has 15 hit points left. Dropkick is played by using Martial Prowess, Keen Instincts, and 1 more resource card, Nebula. 4 damage, deal 4 damage to an enemy. 15 goes to now 11. Captain America is stunned, not 100%, but just 50% because he has steady. And then because Dropkick says to draw a card, which is Gamora's sword. And because that was played in attack events, then 1 threat can be removed because of Gamora's ability. Now, set the pace is played, hero action, remove 1 threat from a scheme. And because of Gamora's ability, 1 damage will be dealt to Captain America, who only has 10 hit points. And now she plays Decisive Blow. 2 resources, deal 7 damage because a thwart event. Was a thwart event played? Yes, it was played. So 7 damage. So now there's only 3 damage left in order for Gamora to win. All right, so let's see what Quicksilver can do. Let's ready everything up. And Gamora draws her 5 cards. Okay, so Captain America has only 3 hit points left. And Iron Man 15, so I have to do a lot of damage. Okay, so I'm going to hero mode straight away. Unfortunately, I cannot ready myself up, but I am going to play double time. So I can choose 2 of the following. Deal 2 damage to an enemy, remove 2 threat from scheme. Well, I will choose deal 2 damage to an enemy twice. So I will do 4 damage. Now Iron Man has 5 in total. And I think I'm just going to use these 2 resources for Machine Man, so he can do 3 damage. So I will do that straight away, or wait, before I do that actually, I'm going to use now It's Personal. I think this is the perfect moment to use this. So I'm going to remove this card from the game, and then each player can choose 2 cards. So I already know which ones I'm going to choose. I am going to choose these 2 cards. The People's Hero. Hero response, after you spend this resource, give your Captain America leader a face down boost card. And recruited by Cap, choose a minion engaged with you and choose a player on the enemy team. That minion engages that player. So first of all, I'm going to use this to pay for recruit Cap and 1 more resource, which is because it costs 3. So first of all, we're going to give Captain America leader a face down boost card. And now we're going to choose a minion, and of course, we only have 1. So I'm going to choose Venom to be engaged now with Gamora. Very thematic, recruited by Cap. So that's now done, and I have 1 card left, and I'm just going to use it to for Machine Man to change his damage from 1 to 2. So I'm going to deal 2 damage to Iron Man. And yeah, Machine Man is not going to survive. He's going to be KO'd. Machine Man is gone, and that is all I can do. I will lose the main scheme, but it's fine. There is still main scheme number 2. So okay, I will ready up and get my 5 cards, but unfortunately I'm going to get a face down boost card because I decked out. So, all right, let's commence the villain phase. Okay, the villain phase begins. So 1 threat on gathering support. Captain America is going to attack for a lot, but Groot will defend. So Captain America will deal 2 damage plus with that face down boost card. Plus 3 is 5, plus another is 6. So Groot is not going to survive that. So bye-bye Groot. Captain America has stunned, but also he has steady. Captain America level 2 has steady. All right, so now encounter card. Oh wait, Venom is going to attack for 3. What's going to happen? Is Gamora going to defend or will she take it? She's going to take it. 7 goes to 4. And now Encounter card, bad card. Oh, it's a targeted strike. When revealed, the enemy team, that's Quicksilver, search the top 5 cards of the encounter deck for a card and deal it to you as a face-down encounter card. So Quicksilver now is going to choose an encounter card. So now the Quicksilver player, that's me, will draw 5 cards and chooses one. So it's going to be whatever it takes that I'm going to place as a face-down encounter card that Gamora has to reveal straight away. And I will shuffle this back in. So let's see how Gamora is going to respond. So target strike completed. And here is the face-down encounter card that Quicksilver player, me, chose. Whatever it takes when revealed. Gamora is in hero form. So the enemy leader attacks you. So Captain America is going to attack Gamora. She's going to defend, of course. She only has 4 hit points left. So Captain America will deal 2 damage plus. Reveal this card. Ooh, it's a +2. Super Soldier Serum. So 4 damage minus 2 is 2. So Gamora survives and only has 2 hit points left. So now because Captain America attacked Gamora again and damages Gamora, Captain America gains Retaliate. So he is now on 2 health. And he gets back the shield. But as Captain America says, when he gets the shield, give him a tough status card. Okay, so Gamora survived, unfortunately, for Quicksilver. So we start the villain phase with 3 threat because of the unregistered super. Because I'm not getting rid of them. So unfortunately, I will lose the scheme. And it means now the pro registration tactics will come into play. If you want, you can pause and read the flavor text. But we're going to flip it now to 2B. Yeah, so no going back. Allies enter play exhausted. That is pretty nasty. All right, okay. Okay, so 9 instead of 7 this time. So after 9 threats, we lose. But it should be fine, hopefully. All right, Iron Man is going to attack. We're going to defend with Quicksilver as always. 1, 2. And Iron Man will attack for 4. But instead of 2 damage, I'm going to use Energy Barrier, the last one, to ping 1 damage to Iron Man. And then Energy Barrier is gone. No more reflection counters. And then I ready up Quicksilver because that's what Quicksilver does. And I get 2 encounter cards. So the first one is a side scheme, Stark Tower. Nothing happens now, only when defeated. Okay, and then the next one is we got Shang-Chi as a minion. When revealed, choose an upgrade you control. The enemy team chooses instead if you have the unregistered trait. Very thematic. And I do actually have the unregistered trait. So it is Gamora who's going to choose an upgrade and discard that upgrade. So Gamora, which one? Well, to be honest, this one's actually worse. But I understand this one because it has +1 attack. And I just need to attack a few more times. So makes sense. So now I lose an upgrade. That is nasty. And that also concludes the villain phase. So now back to the player phase. Player phase begins. Gamora starts. She only has 2 health left and Captain America also has only 2 health left. So will she be able to defeat Captain America, Quicksilver's leader? So she starts by playing for Justice with Keen Instincts and Psylocke. 4 threats will be removed. And because of Gamora's ability, it's finesse. Yes, it is finesse. No, it's precision that she can deal 1 damage, which is, of course, Captain America. So the tough is gone. There is no guard. So she can bypass Venom. Next card that Gamora plays is Decisive Blow. Deal 4 damage. No, 7 instead. If you've played a thwart event, which just happened, so 7 damage. That means Captain America is defeated. That does not mean that she wins, because Quicksilver has now one more chance to also defeat the leader. So let's see if Quicksilver is able to pull that off. Let's see if Quicksilver is able to defeat Iron Man. Okay, here we go. Maybe I'm able to pull this off. So I'm going to use Friction Resistance and another card to play Maximum Velocity, because Gamora got rid of Reinforced Sinew that gave me +1 attack. A very important card, which is now gone, but maybe Maximum Velocity is going to help me out. So Maximum Velocity gives +2 attack to Quicksilver, so I'm going to attack straight away for 3. Ready up, and then ready up Friction Resistance. So I'm going to attack for 3 again. So how much do we have now? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11... 14, so 2 more. Luckily, I can pay for double time to choose 2 of the following. Deal 2 damage. You may choose the same option twice. Deal 2 damage to an enemy and remove 2 threat from a scheme. Of course, I will choose deal 2 damage to an enemy twice, which means that will result in 4 damage. So let's see, how much do we have here now? I think we have 18 damage. All right, that means I defeated Iron Man as well. So Gamora defeated Captain America and Quicksilver defeated Iron Man. That means the game is a tie. So let's see who actually wins. Tie break conditions. In the event of a tie, players can use the following tie break conditions in order to determine a winner. The team whose enemy main scheme deck did not advance past stage 1B wins. Yeah, so that means Gamora wins because I lost the first main scheme. If, as the Quicksilver player, would not have lost the main scheme, let's see, would I have won? Number 2 says the team with the fewest total minions and side schemes in their game area wins. Well, I have 1 side scheme and 1 minion, Shang-Chi, and Gamora only has Venom. So yeah, I would have lost for sure. So we hope you enjoyed seeing this walkthrough of PvP modes of Civil War. We know it's not professional, probably a bit messy here and there, and hopefully it was possible to follow along. Don't judge us too much when it comes to how we played Quicksilver or Gamora. At the end of the day, the aim and objective of this video is just to showcase what PvP is all about, the options, the opportunities. So hopefully it was possible to have a better understanding of how PvP works. The backside of the rulebook, by the way, contains more information like frequently asked questions, competitive mode, quick reference guide. I'm thinking what I forgot to say. Well, one thing is when you attack a leader with your leader, so you're going to attack Captain America with Iron Man, then the guard keyword doesn't apply. It doesn't matter who is on the table with guard. One leader can attack the other leader, and you can also not defend that attack with your hero or any allies. So final thoughts on the PvP mode. We loved it a lot, and we're definitely going to play it a lot more and experiment with this mode a lot more. And we can't wait to get Hulk and Vision, or She-Hulk and Vision as well, in the near future. We love how this is very similar to Kang Stage 2, where you have separate games going on. So the same applies to Civil War, where you have 2 solo games, or in our case, 2 solo games, because it's just 1 against 1, but they are very interactive at the same time. And I love how sometimes you have the opportunity to choose an encounter card, and then you decide whether it's going to be a tough one, or it's going to be kind of an easy one, because you don't want the game to end, for example. So there's a lot of flexibility also with the main schemes and with the modular decks. So definitely recommendable PvP mode, easier than we thought, more intuitive than we thought. So definitely try it out. And yeah, let me know if you have any questions.